And we're finally live. Been having some connection issues with the upload speed because of the bad weather we've had here recently, but we're good. Hopefully it doesn't, hopefully it doesn't cut out, because we tried to start one live stream and that one just completely died on us, cut out with internet. So hopefully we're good. I restarted everything. Let's go forward. Let's talk SmackDown. And we also, unfortunately, have to talk about the releases. We have to talk about the, let me get the full number here. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wait, let me count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 releases that we know of so far. Very, very unfortunate. We will get into all of those. We have a number of main roster releases. We have a number of NXT releases. Some very big shockers, I would say so myself. And so I'll also talk about where I think different people, I don't know about everybody, but where different people I think could fit in as far as getting work elsewhere, maybe working the indies, maybe going to AEW, TNA, New Japan, so forth. So we got a lot to talk about when it comes to the unfortunate releases, and when it comes to, when it comes to tonight's Friday Night Smackdown. So with all of that, I want to say thank you for joining us here, twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you're watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can help us out by hitting that donate button down below, or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel, one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. And remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I greatly appreciate it if you did right here for Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, help us out over on YouTube. Help us out by hitting that subscribe button. That way you know when to post new videos. That way you know when we go live. And that way you know when we post to the community tab. We'll be trying to post more on our website, give you news that way. And when we do, we'll post those links on the community tab to route you guys over to the website. Because there might be some stories where I'm like, yeah, I can't make a video out of this, but it's still interesting to talk about and write something about. So we'll give you info on it there. Also, remember, if you want to support the channel, you can do so when you become a channel member. As a channel member at the $1 tier, you get access to emotes and emojis that you can use in the live chat, a badge that shows that you are a supporter here. And then remember, at the $5 tier, you get our graphics packages. Right now, we have up our WWE WrestleMania 41 graphics, our AEW Revolution graphics. Then this month, you'll be getting our Double or Nothing. Well, this month, you'll get our, you'll get both. You'll get our Backlash graphics next week. No, in 2 weeks after Backlash. I always put them out. The goal is to put them out the week after. So you'll get them after Backlash, the week after Backlash, and then you'll get our AEW Double or Nothing graphics. Those will come, within the last couple, because that's like the 25th. So that'll come the last couple of days of May, or you'll get those the first week of June. However, it just lines up. So we give you those, and then we teach you some things. Hopefully you learn some stuff from us that you ain't going to learn from any other wrestling news site or wrestling YouTube channel. That's what we can bring. We can teach you guys things, whether that's learning stuff in Photoshop and whether that's learning stuff in After Effects. Also, we are going to open it up to $5 members as well, either on Patreon or here on Twitch. Not Twitch, on YouTube. If you guys ever want to learn anything like specific, you can request tutorials by me, and I will do specific tutorials, whether that's in Photoshop, After Effects, Premiere Pro, or so forth, to help teach you guys. And remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. Finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PWU NLIMITED, for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. We do know that the brand new Star Wars season, Galactic Battle, is out in Fortnite. I'm going to try and stream that this weekend. My computer's kind of been running crappy to where I can't play and stream at the same time properly, so I'm going to try to clear out some space on my computer. Maybe I just got too much stuff on it or something. And we're going to try and stream some of this new season tomorrow night or Sunday. So that is one of the goals, to do a gaming stream, get back into more gaming streams again, whether that is here with this game in Fortnite, or maybe do some Speedstorm, because Speedstorm also has their new Big Hero 6 update coming next week. I think May 8th, I want to say. So we're going to be playing a lot of that as well, which you can also get from the Epic Game Store. When you get that free game, put in this code, and you help us without having to spend any money. But with all of that, so WWE today, actually starting going back yesterday, did some releases. Now, we can't talk about the wrestler releases until we talk about the staff releases. And so I'm going to read this from PW Insider. We're going to pull this up here because they had the jump on all this news. PW Insider did, we got another release. Javier Bernal. Okay, we knew that one. It's very unfortunate. But, so, we got to go to what we learned first yesterday when it comes to releases and talent and who got let go. Let me pull that up here because for some reason, all of a sudden, it's not here on the screen. I had it. Let's find this. Now I can't find the link. Here we go. So yesterday, Mike Johnson of PW Insider did right. Christine Lebrano, who served as Senior Vice President, Creative Writing Operations for World Wrestling Entertainment, has departed the company. PWInsider.com has confirmed. Lebrano was among a number of WWE staffers let go today. The belief is that 10 to 12 staffers were cut today, possibly more. And then he goes on to talk about Lebrano's time in WWE. She started with the company in February of 2021. And within the creative side of things, she was top 3. It's basically you have Triple H at the top. Then you have her and Bruce Pritchard on the next low rung that report to Triple H. And everybody else reports to her and Bruce. So you've got the Raw, SmackDown, and NXT creative teams that they work on all their stuff. They've got their ideas. They've got their scripts. They send them up to her and Bruce, and then her and Bruce look them over and everything, and then report that up to Triple H. So she was a top 3 in this company, and she was let go yesterday, along with other people in the company that work behind the scenes. Now, we did eventually learn that one of those 10 to 12 people, and I think the actual number was 15, one of those 10 to 12 people was WWE digital personality Ryan Papala, as Mike Johnson writes, quote, WWE broadcast personality Ryan Papala was part of yesterday's WWE staff cuts, PWInsider.com has confirmed. Papala has been with the company for around a decade, starting as an intern and working on the editorial side of things before transitioning into an on-air broadcast role with WWE Now and then WWE's The Bump. He had been hosting WWE Vault watch-along broadcasts and Raw Sidecast on WWE's Twitch channel of late. Papala had been very much liked within the company walls. We learn of all of this stuff, and it's like, man, this really stinks. This really sucks. People losing their jobs. And then we start hearing, Mike Johnson had the report of the word going around backstage or within the company is, quote, we're told that there's about 15 WWE staff reductions this week. There's been no talent releases, and this was about an hour before the talent releases happened. There are no talent releases, although obviously there are many walking on eggshells worried since there are traditionally releases in the post-WrestleMania period. And when you start hearing in WWE, and they've got a pattern, when you start hearing, people backstage are being let go. They got a couple firings at the headquarters. Those usually happen on a Thursday. Wrestler releases happen on a Friday. And we started getting those wrestler release information as we will talk about the first couple of them here. We learned first off that Katana Chance and Caden Carter had been released by WWE. Then word came out that Dakota Kai had been released by WWE. And this is a very interesting one with the tweet that Dakota sent out earlier this week. Dakota Kai did send out a tweet earlier this week stating that she misses wrestling and she misses the fans. And I'm like, what does that mean? Does she, what? And a lot of people online were going, is she leaving the company? Has she been released? What's going on? And at that time, when she sent out that tweet, no one knew anything about the firings at the headquarters and behind the scenes and any talent releases. Then we learned the name Shayna Baszler, former NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler, let go by the company. Then a big shocking one, Braun Strowman, former Universal, United States, Tag Team, Money in the Bank winner, or Greatest Royal Rumble winner, Braun Strowman, released from the company. And it's just like, wow. 5 main roster names right there. Shayna, Katana, Kaden, Dakota, Braun. And it's like, well, Braun Strowman been doing some, big things on TV of late. Dakota Kai, people were just talking recently about her going, oh yeah, they want to use her, but not until the rest of Damage Control comes back. Well, they didn't want to use her that much, unfortunately, which really, really stinks. And so we hear all those names, and then NXT names start to come out. And the first NXT name we did learn about was Cora Jade. And I'm going to pull up a couple of tweets here from Cora Jade, because we didn't get news. I'm like, oh, PW Insider reported, or oh, Fightful reported. Cora just sent some tweets out herself. So we're going to pull these up on the screen. Let's see. Cora Jade. If I can find it. Oh, she already changed her name. She's already back to it, Elena Black on Twitter. So as we go here, let's pull this up on the screen. Cora Jade has sent out this tweet. Picture of her, B. Priestley, and Riley Osborne. So we see this one and we go, uh-oh, Riley as well, because she stated, as you can read here, just got a lot of free time in our hands. See you soon. She then sent out the next tweet that said, thankful for all the childhood dreams I got to live out. I have a lot to say. In due time. Stay tuned. So we see that one in the picture with Riley Osborne. We go, oh no, has Riley been released as well? She said we know that B. Priestley was recently released by WWE. Riley Osborne. That name did come later. We did learn later Riley Osborne has been released by WWE. We then start hearing more NXT names that have been released by the company. We learn Eddie Thorpe. He kind of tweeted it out himself. It was like a picture of someone going like, see you later kind of thing, like a GIF. We then learn another big shocker from the NXT side, Gigi Dolan. Gigi Dolan has been released by WWE. Gigi Dolan was just in a women's tag team title match this past Tuesday, but the previous Tuesday on NXT. Crazy. They've been sending her to TNA to go do things in their women's tag team division, her teaming with Tatum Paxley. And I'm like, what is going on? Then we get the name Jakar Jackson. And not to sound like an ass or anything, but I'm like, oh, shocking, but not shocking with what happened this week on NXT. If you guys didn't see NXT this week, we see a shot of Noam Dar with a cup. He's got the cup. He's got the big trophy. And Lash Legend and Jakar Jackson walk in. Oro Mensah then walk in, and Lash gets a monologue. She's like, metaphor, it's great. You've been gone for a long time, though, and the group haven't really been as great. Oro, been killing it, doing his thing on Evolve. Me and Miss Jackson, we've been killing it as well, but I think, it's time we all go our separate ways. So I'm thinking here, all right, Oro's going to be a singles, Noam's going to be a singles, we still have the tag team. And then Lash goes, Jakara, my sweet girl, it's time for you to spread your wings. It's time for me to go out on my own. They break up the tag team, and I'm just sitting here going, oh, Jakara Jackson's fucked. Jakara Jackson's screwed. She's not bad. I think she's a good personality. Still has a lot of room to improve in the ring. But without Lash Legend, I didn't think she was good. They were going to really do much with her. And then just a few days later, she gets released. We also learned that all of Gallus was released as well. Joe Coffey, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang. And they've been staples on Evolve. They've been working the Evolve shows. Granted, if someone goes, oh, they're supposed to have a match on Evolve next week. I'm like, yeah, all the Evolve stuff's been taped up for like 2 months in advance or whatever. I think they have like 8 episodes taped or 6 or something like that. So it's like, that stinks. Then we get the name Oro Mensah. And Oro Mensah had actually sent out a tweet himself confirming this. I'm going to pull that up on the screen as well. That was the other one where it was like Oro Mensah they just did the thing where they were like, hey, Metaphor needs to go out on our own. And then Oro gets released as well, as Oro Mensah did send out this tweet we see here on the screen stating, quote, 15 years hard work and true sacrifice to make it to WWE. Always gave it my 110% and put my whole passion and body into the art form of pro wrestling. Thank you for all the support. Love y'all. And then it's like, dang. Oro Mensah is good. Like, any company would be dumb not to pick him up. I think he would fit in well in TNA. We're going to talk about that, where I think certain people could fit here in a moment. But I also want to get your guys' comments and questions. If you guys want to ask any questions about these releases, got anything to say about the releases, remember you can donate a super chat in the live chat on YouTube. You can donate Twitch bits on Twitch as well. And then the other name that we did get was Javier Bernal, who we haven't seen on TV in quite some time. We haven't seen Javier Bernal work a match on television, that is, since February. He had an Evolve match against Riley Osborne, of all people. So it really stinks. Those are all the names that we've gotten so far. Hopefully there's no more. Hopefully we don't hear anything else about any more releases. Don't need anybody else getting, let go by WWE. It's very unfortunate. But now the thing to do is you go, well, we like all these people. We want to see them continue in pro wrestling. Where do they fit in? Where can they go? Where can they be? Where can they do their thing? And so some of these are kind of obvious. Some of them, not as much. As we look here at the names that were released, we've got, for instance, Caden Carter and Katana Chance. Caden Carter, I'm not sure of. No, Katana Chance, I'm not sure of, because WWE is all she's ever done in pro wrestling. Caden Carter, she'll go work the indies. No problem. I want to see, where has she worked in the past? I'm going to look it up right here. See, where has she worked in the past? So she's done stuff. And she's the one that's been in WWE system for a while. Yeah, she's been with WWE since 2018. She's worked in Mexico for The Crash. She's worked ACW. She's someone who's not opposed to doing intergender matches as well. She's had a match. When she was Lacey Lane, she did a match against Fuego del Sol. She did another one against Jay Rios. She's had a number of matches against Tessa Blanchard. MLW. And MLW, I was thinking this for her. If she wants to sign somewhere, I think she would fit in with MLW. I think she'd also fit in with TNA, but I think for what MLW is, and them needing some more talented women, because I think MLW needs to bolster their women's roster, I think she would fit in there at MLW. Dakota Kai. That's an interesting one. Here's something that most people probably don't know. When she was released by WWE the first time, well, technically she wasn't released. Her contract expired, and I think they let her go just a little early. During that time that she was away from WWE, she had talks to go to the AEW. She had discussions to go work for All Elite Wrestling, and then Triple H called and said, hey, we got this idea. Bayley wants you with her. Would you be opposed, or would you be up to coming back? And that's when she came back at that SummerSlam. They formed Damage Control, and everything is everything. So Dakota Kai, she's one that she can go anywhere. She's fantastic. She's phenomenal. She's great. I can see her going anywhere. But again, there was that interest at one time from AEW. So I can see her going to AEW. Shayna Baszler, that's one where it's like she's worked indies. She's worked Japan. But as far as major companies, it's just been WWE. Would AEW pick her up? Maybe. TNA, MLW. MLW is where I can see Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler is the type of wrestler. I see MLW as a place where more of the shooter style wrestlers fit in my opinion. Now, I can see her doing some cool things as a knockout in TNA. Do I think she fully fits in there? Maybe, but maybe not. I mean, her and Masha Slamovich can kill it, I can see. So maybe TNA. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Then we got Braun Strowman. That's the big wild card here. Because it's like, what did he do when he was gone from WWE the last time? He worked some stuff with goddamn Ethan Carter III, EC3. He did some of his stuff, his weird off-the-wall stuff that people didn't like. He showed up in ROH once. That was the old ROH. That's not Tony Khan's ROH, if I'm thinking correctly. So Braun, it's like, does Braun stay in wrestling? Or does Braun do things off of the name value of Adam Scherr, which how much name value does that Adam Scherr really have at this point? So Braun's the one big one where I'm like, I don't know where he fits in as far as where does he go? Because we didn't see him do anything last time. Well, do much. Then we got Cora Jade. Cora Jade, I can see working the indies. She did do matches for AEW before she went to WWE, so there's that opening there. She is one that I think would fit in very well in TNA. I think she would be a great addition to the Knockouts roster. We do know that they just recently signed Indy Hartwell, who was released by WWE, so it's not like, and I had a couple people DM me and go, hey, I have a question. Would TNA not be allowed or be opposed to signing any of the WWE releases because they work with WWE and they don't want to make WWE mad for saying, hey, why are you signing the people we released? No. As we've seen with again, Indy Hartwell. Indy was released earlier this year, and she signed with TNA. So I don't see any problems with any of these talents going to TNA. Then we got Eddie Thorpe, former Carl Fredericks, who was, before going to WWE, starting to kind of make a name for himself in New Japan, and that's where I think he should go back. I think he should go back to New Japan Pro Wrestling. Whether he is like a Tom Lawler and just mainly does the U.S. stuff for New Japan, or he goes and works in Japan, I think Eddie Thorpe, Carl Fredericks should go back to New Japan. I think that's where he would fit in. That's where he would be good. That's where he would do well. Gigi Dolan. I don't even have to think about this one. As soon as I saw that release, I was like, TNA better pick this girl up. And I'm not just saying that because Zachary Wentz, her fiance, I don't know if they gotten married yet, husband is there. I'm not even saying that. She would fit into that Knockouts roster perfectly. She is exactly like we've seen her in TNA recently too. So she's been on TNA TV as Gigi Dolan, not Priscilla Kelly, but that would be a little interesting to see. She'd have to do a full 180, I guess you could say, personality character shift, but she's someone that is just, she's perfect for that TNA roster. I see her working that TNA roster tremendously. Now, could she go to AEW? She had worked for AEW in the past a little bit. Sure. I don't see her as someone that's going to go in there and they're going to really use well. But I do see her having major success in TNA. Jakara Jackson, that's one where it's like, did she even do anything before WWE? I don't even know. I'm looking it up right now. She has only wrestled, I want to say, let's see. So she's done some TNA stuff because of the whole, her and Lash Legend going to TNA, doing stuff there. She's done like 1 or 2 matches, 3 matches. But I don't know. She's only worked WWE in those few TNA matches that WWE sent her. So she's one where it's like, does she want to do the grind and work the indies and this and that? Does she want to go sign with the TNA? Does she want to try AEW? I don't see her fitting in AEW, that's for sure. I don't see her fitting in MLW. TNA, I don't even know. Jakara Jackson, and I hate saying this, I don't see where she fits in outside of WWE. We have Riley Osborne, another one where I'm not sure about. I can see him maybe working some indies and stuff. That'd be fine. Like, I'm not sure where you send him. Again, another one where I don't really know much if at all he did anything before WWE. We're going to look this up as well. Cage Match is the greatest resource a wrestling fan can have. And Riley Osborne is a England native. So he would need to get a new work visa before he can do anything. And that's stuff we saw problems with before. Like with Nixon Newell. She got released by WWE and had issues getting the visa, and that's why she couldn't work in the United States. But yeah, he's done a lot of work in the UK. So I could see him going back to the UK for sure and working the independent scene out there. ICW, maybe Progress. He did stuff with TW Live, DW Live. So yeah, I can see Riley Osborne going back to the UK and doing indies and stuff there. And that's where I see Gallus going too. I see Joe Coffey, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang going back there. Work in progress. Working those indies. Doing the big stuff over there. Maybe even going to Japan. Maybe working Noah. Maybe working New Japan. I mean, Mark Coffey, Joe Coffey, Wolfgang, those are guys that I can see fitting in with New Japan very well. So whether they go and just work the UK indies, maybe they want to work the US indies. I don't see them signing with AEW. I don't see them signing maybe with MLW, but not really. And I don't see them going to TNA. But I could see them in New Japan, especially as a group. And New Japan likes their groups. So I could see Gallus going over there. Now, does WWE own the name Gallus is the next question. That's the thing. Because they were Gallus before coming to WWE. Now we're going to trademark search Gallus. That's the big question here. Gallus. Gallus. Search. Looking for... That's Gallus and candle making. I'm not seeing if WWE actually has a trademark. Okay. That's good to see. I'm not seeing like a WWE trademark for the name Gallus. So if they were to leave WWE and stay as a group, I think they can remain as Gallus. They have Oro Mensa. And Oro Mensa is another one where I'm not really sure. Oro Mensa. Again, I didn't know of Oro Mensa before WWE. He's another one from the UK. And I don't even know. Let's see. So he did work WXW. He's done a lot of work for WXW. He's an SWE, GHW. So yeah, I can see him going back and also possibly working the UK Indies. Because again, he said he'd been around for 15 years. I had never heard of him before coming to NXT UK and then NXT. So, and then that's on me. I never really, and still kind of don't follow the UK scene. So yeah, he's done a lot of work in the United Kingdom. He also did WXW, SCW as well. Then we have Javier Bernal, another one that before coming to WWE, I was not familiar with. Let's look him up and see what he's done. And another one that's only ever been in WWE. So that's why I wasn't familiar with him. He started in WWE in 2022, and that's all he's ever worked. So, again, another one where he did a lot of not much on TV. So I have really like no thought process on, well, I've seen him do this and he's really good here and I can see him fitting in here because what I've seen him do here. Yeah, he's done a lot of level up stuff. I never watched the level up. He's done a lot of NXT live events. When you look at his cage match, it's NXT live, NXT live, NXT live, a couple of Evolve matches. He's done 3 shows for Evolve. NXT live, NXT live, NXT live, NXT live. Main event, he did 1 match against Apollo Crews. Level up. But a lot of like, he was never really on main NXT. Like we have one here, Battle Royal. Another live event. So, unfortunately, that's another one where I'm just like, I don't see where he fits. And I want to look, where did he come from? Really, him and Jakar Jackson, where did they come from? How did WWE recruit them? Is what I want to see. Let's see. Not fully sure what he did before WWE and how he got recruited. That's the one thing. Like, let's see if I can find this here. His Instagram says he's an emo kid. But other than that, don't see much on him before WWE. So, I don't really know. And then Jakara Jackson. She's got a Wikipedia, so we can see here that she tried out for WWE in Las Vegas in 2021. And she earned a contract there. But what did she do before professional wrestling is the question. Yes, your Wikipedia, again, only has wrestling stuff. Let me see if I can find anything about her as far as like before WWE. I couldn't find really much. Just searching really quick. Excuse me. Oh, and Jakar Jackson has sent out a tweet. Let's pull this up on the screen. Jakar Jackson did send out this tweet. says here, always been and always gone. Be about that motherfucking action. And then she accompanied it with this nice photo of herself. So it's like, does that sound like someone that wants to stay in wrestling? A little bit, kind of. I just don't know where she fits in, unfortunately. Remember, guys, if you have any questions about these releases or anything, whatnot, you can donate. You can send a super chat on YouTube, or you can send a bit donation on Twitch. As I'll answer those questions throughout the rest of this live stream, as we get into talking SmackDown. Now, I'm also not going to do the thing of, hey, do you think this person could be released next? Or what about this person? Or hey, what about this person? I'm not doing any of that. There's some people I got a couple messages on Twitter. Hey, what about this person? I got a couple messages on Instagram. What about this person? I'm like, they're out injured. They've been injured for a while. That's all it is. So there are some people that you haven't seen in a while, not because they've been released, but because they've been injured. I'm also going to just say this. I can't confirm anything, and so I'm not going to say a name here. But I've heard that because of the releases, top superstar may have asked for a release. I've had it told to me by one person. I will not confirm that because I need it by at least two people, especially with the name that I got. But I heard that there is a very good chance that a top of the card WrestleMania title match caliber wrestler may have been fed up with, the releases and the way they just things. So yeah, there may have been somebody high up on the card that asked for a release today. But we got SmackDown to talk about. Let's jump in and get into that show, as we did 30 minutes on them releases. And if we do hear anything else or get any other messages about the releases throughout this broadcast, we will bring it to you. Let me just double check and see if I've gotten anything new. Not that I am seeing. Let me just check this right here. Okay, so SmackDown from Des Moines, Iowa. The show's long. The show felt long. This show was, in my opinion, just all right at best. And also, let me get a Twitch poll going because we had to restart the stream, so we don't have a Twitch poll going. Or a YouTube poll. Did you think of SmackDown? I liked it. It was all right. I didn't like it. Give me one quick second. All right, so Joe Testore welcomes everybody to the show. We see Randy Orton, Tiffany Stratton, Damian Priest, The Miz, Carmelo Hayes all walking into the building. Priest is shown walking in. He handshakes old Hurricane Helms. Then he gets into it with Solo and Jacob. Confronts them. Start yelling. They start fighting, and they're broken up pretty quickly. Now, this is weird. Earlier in the day, we got word, hey, we're going to get Damian Priest versus LA Knight, right? Okay, cool. LA Knight comes out and cuts a promo. Damian Priest comes out and cuts a promo, and then they agree to a match there. They set up the match in the ring, and I'm like, whoa, what the, huh? We had already gotten word that it literally said on WWE's website, LA Knight and Damian Priest go head-to-head tonight. What? Okay, whatever. So LA Knight comes down and cuts a promo in the ring, and noted how he said last week that he wanted a rematch for the U.S. title. Knight voices his pleasure for having to have a number one contenders match. Knight said that the match didn't go his way because Solo interfered. Jacob jumped around everywhere. Knight then moved his attention to, Damian Priest. And on cue, out come the big man, Damian Priest. Priest told Knight that they didn't have a problem last week. Everything he did was all about Drew McIntyre, and he has no qualms with Knight. Knight noted how McIntyre mentioned Priest's family, and he couldn't let McIntyre get away with that. Knight said the Priest picked the wrong time to get back at McIntyre because the only reason the bell rang in his match was because of Priest. Priest got involved and ended his match. Priest then responded by saying the only reason things happened the way they did is because you lost at WrestleMania. Basically telling him, hey, if you wouldn't have lost your title, you wouldn't have had to be in that situation in the first place. Two bicker back and forth until they eventually agree to have a match. And Priest is like, you want to fight me? Yeah. Okay. And the match gets set. This is all right. The match, we join in progress. Priest was working a series of strikes before Priest fought into a slam on Knight. Priest then kicked Knight in the chin and got a 2 out of it. Priest set up for an old school, but Knight pulled Priest off the top rope and landed a suplex. Back suplex, that is. Knight then followed this up with a bunch of punches and a flying clothesline. Knight added a jumping neck breaker and a Russian leg sweep. Got a 2 off of it. Priest then punched Knight, but Knight then slammed Priest. Knight went for an elbow drop, but Priest caught him and tried to set up for a South of Heaven. Knight worked out of it, and Priest clotheslined the hell out of Knight for a near fall. Priest lifted Knight for a razor's edge, but Knight got out of it and DDT'd Priest. Knight went to the second rope and hit his jump up elbow drop and got a 2. The 2 then fought into a commercial break. When we come back, eventually Priest stepped off the top rope and onto the apron and kicked Knight. Priest then lifted Knight for a razor's edge, and he had this guy looking like there was a camera angle they did. This looked like he had him about 10 feet up in the air. This looked great. And he executed that razor's edge. Knight barely kicked out. LA Knight chants from the crowd in Des Moines. Priest went for a South of Heaven, but Knight countered. Only for Priest to hit a broken arrow. Two are fighting some more. Priest went to the top rope, but Knight leapt up and hit a mega superplex. Crowd's chanting, this is awesome. Knight clotheslined Priest over the top and to the outside. Knight went to dropkick him through the ropes, but Priest caught Knight and hit a flatliner off the apron. Solo Sikoa would then show up, attack Priest, and the referee called for the bell. So yet another match, ending in a DQ with LA Knight. As we learn, this does set up stuff for next week. We will be getting LA Knight and Damian Priest against Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. So after the match, Solo turned his attention to Knight and set up for a Samoan spike on Knight, but Priest punched Solo and Knight BFT'd him. Priest and Knight then started staring at each other. Priest cleared off the announce desk. Knight rolled Solo to the outside, and Priest was going to hit a South of Heaven on him on the announce desk, but Fatu showed up, landed a Samoan drop on Knight onto the announce desk instead, after taking out Priest with a dive through the ropes. Jacob Fatu's the man. This guy came out of nowhere, ran like a cruiserweight through the ring, through the ropes, boom. Holy shit. And then what happens? Oh, the crowd's in favor of the heel. Crowd is chanting and cheering for goddamn Jacob Fatu. Moving forward, Byron Saxton interviewed Fraxium backstage. They said this was from earlier in the day. They talked about how they're happy to be on SmackDown. They saw the TLC match last week, and that is the main reason why they want to be on SmackDown, because the great tag teams on SmackDown have inspired them. They want to be involved in a match like that one day. Pretty Deadly would walk up and go, hey, Frazier, great to have some more European blood here on SmackDown. And, they made fun of the duo, and they talked crap and everything, and then eventually it just got set that Fraxium will take on Pretty Deadly. We also did see the UFC legend Michael Bisping, also UFC commentator Michael Bisping, in the crowd. So that was cool to see. And then this led to Pretty Deadly versus Fraxium. Wilson and Axiom began the match, but it wasn't long before Frazier tagged in and ran the ropes awful quickly and kicked Wilson. Frazier worked Wilson's arm briefly and threw him into the corner, but Wilson walked out and kicked Frazier in the head. Prince then tagged in and beat Frazier down. Frazier then came back with an enziguri. Axiom tagged in and things broke down, complete with a repeated pair of dives on the heels. Before we go to a break, back from the break and inside the ring, Axiom went to work on Prince's back. Axiom went to the top, and Prince caught Axiom during a crossbody attempt. Prince threw Axiom down into Wilson's legs, and Pretty Deadly posed Eventually, Axiom did get back to his feet and was chopping Wilson. Ultimately, Frazier received a hot tag and hit a drop kick on both Prince and Wilson. There was a shooting star press attempt at one point. The referee essentially counted the 3, but Prince didn't kick out, and it was an awkward moment, and the match just kept on going. Prince's mouth was bloody at this point, so I'm not sure exactly what happened. He got kicked in the face, I guess, or maybe he was off that DDT. I'm not sure. Prince looked like I don't know if he was knocked out, knocked loopy, knocked what, but he was supposed to kick out, and he didn't. Wilson then powerbombed Frazier and got a 2 off of it. Wilson and Frazier then traded elbows until Frazier placed Wilson on the top rope. Axiom then hit a Spanish fly. Frazier hit his Phoenix Splash and got the victory. Axiom, 2 for 2 on the main roster. Nice match, but they had that really bad spot where we don't know exactly what happened to Elton Prince. I don't know if he was knocked out. I don't know if he's got a concussion now. Loopy. But yeah, he was supposed to kick out and he didn't. And the ref had to go down 1, 2, 3, but then they just kept on going. It's not like they just they couldn't, because they need Axiom to be, or Fraxiom to be undefeated. And yeah. The Big Evil says Frazier's elbow landed Prince's face. So when he did the shooting star, the running shooting star, gotcha. That I didn't catch then. Okay. Gotcha. That makes sense. BFAB and Meechin were backstage in Nick Aldis's office, and I'm just going to say it. BFAB, not the best promo. She sounds like she's not genuine. She sounds like, I got these lines. I know what my character is. I'm going to try and play my character. And she's just like, when we do the things, it's all really great and good. And if we got the opportunity, maybe when Liv comes back from doing her movie, we can get a shot, me and Meechin, at the tag team. And I'm just like, what are you? And then Meechin starts talking, and I'm just like, all right, that's how you cut a promo. She just sounds like chick, badass chick from freaking California. So anyways, they're trying to get a tag match or tag title match. They want to be an established tag team. And then in comes Piper Niven and Alba Fire, and they start patting down Nick Aldis. And like, it's all clear. He's good. Bring in the president. And I was like, what up? Chelsea's still doing this thing. Chelsea's wearing all black. She's all mad. She says that last week was a travesty. There needs to be a recount. And maybe she'll go to what does she say? Oh, I didn't write it down. Supreme Court. She said, I'll go to the Supreme Court on you, Nick Aldis. And then she was like, if you give me a recount, I won't go to the Supreme Court. He's like, recount? You mean rematch? And he's like, you know what? How about this instead? How about we're not bargaining anything. Piper, you could fight Zelina tonight. Aldis said if Niven wins, she'll be number 1 contender for Vegas U.S. title. And then Green almost fainted. We got a video chronicling some of the history between John Cena and Randy Orton before Nia Jax came to the ring. Jax stood in the middle of the ring and soaked in all the booze. You could tell. Nia Jax loves being a heel. You could tell. Nia Jax loves being a heel. She said it sounded like everyone missed her. The crowd booed even louder. Jax said she was happy to be back. But while she was gone, she was at home, getting refocused, getting regrouped, getting ready to take back what is hers, the WWE Women's Championship. Tiffany Stratton's music would hit, and Tiffany would walk down to the ring with a microphone in hand. Stratton said that she wasn't the same Stratton that Jax used to bully around. Stratton said, when it comes shove, toe to toe, I'm one of the greatest of all time. And I beat one of the greatest of all time in Charlotte Flair. Stratton said, if her and Jax ever locked up again, Stratton would beat Jax too. Jax asked if Stratton was offering a rematch, and Stratton said she wouldn't shy away from a fight. And if that's what Nia wants, sure. Anywhere, anytime. And then Naomi's music would hit. Naomi would walk out with a microphone and spoke about how she wants a shot at the title. She said that it was funny to see Stratton and Jax fight, because she remembers when she tried to take the title from Jax, and Stratton always found a way to help her out. Naomi questioned whether Stratton actually changed. She said she didn't, in fact. Naomi said that Naomi was the only one that's really, truly changed. Naomi said that Jade Cargill ruined everything that she's been working for. But even so, she ain't done, and she wants to go after the gold. Out came Jade. Now this starts going a little long. You're just like, oh, crap. Now what? Jade's music hits. Jade comes down to the ring. Jade's walking with a purpose. She rolls into the ring. All four women just start fighting. They don't even let Jade cut a promo. Cargill clothesline Naomi over the top to the outside. Stratton disposed of Nia Jax. Cargill and Stratton circled each other. Aldis walked out and goes, hey, you all want to fight? We can make a tag team match, playa. So he set it up. Nia and Naomi, family, taking on the team of Tiffany and Jade in the main event. Joe Tessitore then hyped up the Miz Black situation. You know, Miz facing Aleister Black tonight. Miz came out for a match last week. Aleister Black made his big return. Mello was hyping up Miz backstage and told Miz that he'd show everyone tonight what's up. Miz rambled a little bit about how he deserves more respect here in WWE, and he's going to earn it tonight. Miz said that Black didn't knock him out last week. He woke him up. Miz said that Black might want to make a statement, but instead, Black will be part of Miz's statement. At one point, it looked like Miz forgot the line, and then he recovered nicely. Speaking of Miz, Miz actually has a new YouTube channel all about golfing. Miz has a YouTube channel where you can watch him golf. So he's got like a golf. So far, there's one video up on the channel. Let me pull it up. Miz. We'll pull it up here on the screen. We've got. Nope, that's not the right link. Why can't I find it all of a sudden? It's just called Miz Golf, right? That's what it was called, Miz Golf. Let me see. Search it. Miz Golf. Yeah, it's right here. Just Miz Golf. Show you guys this. Can't show the video, but he's got one video up there right now. It's an hour long. But Miz, again, like I stated, does have his own new YouTube channel, Miz Golf. Got one video and 2 shorts. So far has 734 subscribers. Cool. I haven't watched the video yet. I saw maybe in this clip here. I saw that one. You're talking about on one hole, he hit an 11 on one hole. I'm like, oh snap. And he's like, you guys don't come here to watch me hit pars. No, you want to watch me do bad. And he's like hitting the ball and he goes, 1, hit a house, 2, hit a house. And I'm like, oh shit. Miz really suck at golf. Whenever he does those pro things, like he's done the ones up in Lake Tahoe a couple of times, he's always at the back. He's always one of the worst. Moving forward, we did have Miz versus Aleister Black. Miz ran at Black to start things off and nearly ran into a Black mask, but Miz retreated. The two went back and forth for a while until Black caught Miz, and Miz went for a kick. Black then placed Miz's foot back on the canvas and hit Miz For long, Black did the springboard moonsault into the sitting pose. Miz was on the outside, and Black reached for Miz, but was distracted by Mello. Miz capitalized and slammed Black's head into the bottom of the ring, the LED boards, and the show went to a break. When the show returned, Miz was posing, and people were booing. Miz went for a springboard move, but Black moved. Black at one point went to work on Miz, complete with body strikes and a springboard moonsault for a very close near fall. At one point, Miz hit the DDT on a kneeling Black and got a 2 off of it. Miz hit some Miz kicks. Black laughed. Black followed this up with a spinning elbow and a knee to the jaw of Miz. Black followed this up with a tough knee to Miz's face. Mello threatened to get involved, and Miz rolled up Black to no avail. From there, Black Mass pinned Miz. Bing, bang, boom. Aleister Black wins a 9.5-minute match. Not bad. Not bad. Possibly setting up Black and Mello next, because after the match, Mello and Black went face-to-face in the middle of the ring. Mello then slowly just exited away, not wanting anything to do with him. Black then sat down in the middle of the ring. So, It's a nice back and forth match. I thought they would have gave a little more to Black in his first match back, but hey, I didn't hate it. I thought they worked very well together for the most part. Santos Escobar was backstage talking to Rey Fenix in the locker room. Escobar said the Phoenix disappointed him at WrestleMania because he lost to a clown. Escobar said that Phoenix blew his chance, and now Rey Mysterio is out with an injury. Escobar wants to take his place. Phoenix cut Escobar off and told him to stay out of my business. Mind your own business. Phoenix said that there is only one luchador that he trusts, and it ain't you, Escobar. Phoenix said if Escobar wants or has a problem with him, how about we check it out later in the ring? We then saw Dio Dawkins of the Buffalo Bills in the crowd. And then we got Zelina Vega versus Piper Niven. The match is okay. It's just okay. Vega had control early on and stretched Niven, who eventually went for a splash and missed it. From there, Vega repeatedly kicked Niven. Vega hit a knee on Niven and got a 1 count. Vega ran into Niven, but Niven shoulder blocked Vega to the canvas. Vega rolled to the outside, then rolled back inside, where Niven lifted Vega to no avail. The two then struggled before Niven planted Vega face first. Niven rammed Vega's head into the bottom turnbuckle. With Niven in control, the show went to a commercial break. When the show returned, Niven was still in control, spinning Vega around the ring. Niven lifted Vega, but Vega countered with somewhat of a code breaker type move. At one point, Niven ran at Vega, but Vega moved and went to the top rope, where Niven slapped Vega. Niven went for a superplex, and Vega worked out of it and hit a okay-looking Meteora. It looked like she had some shaky legs there for a minute, caught herself, was like waiting for Piper to get in the right spot because she was, I don't know, but she just froze for a minute. And then, like, it wasn't like when she jumped off that top rope with the Meteora, she didn't look confident. And then, like, she kind of hit it. Piper kind of felt this was not good. This spot didn't look all that great. Anyway, she got a 2 off of it. Vega then tried to go for the code red, but Niven stopped it and hit a side slam. At one point, Niven lifted Vega, but it all resulted in a DDT from Vega. From there, Vega went to the top and hit a moonsault for off the top for a near fall. Vega went for a code red again, but Niven wouldn't allow it. Niven then tried a powerbomb, but that turned into Vega setting up for a 619 situation. Chelsea Green then hopped up on the apron to stop Vega. Niven then ran at Vega, knocked Vega into Chelsea on the apron. And then, Vega rolled up Niven and picked up the win. Not the first half of this match, I thought was fine. Almost good, if you could even say that. But the second half of this match, or at least the last quarter of this match, was not good at all. Not good at all. And they went 11 minutes, too. I'm like, dang. They got a lot more time than I expected. So all this was speaking with Sol Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. Sikoa said that Fatu was telling everybody they better stay out of his way. Aldis said at Backlash, Fatu would defend the U.S. title against both Priest and Knight. Sikoa goes, wait. Those two don't deserve the match. Because last week, Drew McIntyre was technically named the winner. And Aldis goes, Solo, you have a point. Drew did technically win that match. So at Backlash, it's a 4-way. Fatal 4-way. So at Backlash, the United States Championship will be on the line when Jacob Fatu defends against, Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, and Damian Priest in a fatal 4-way match. Fatu then did his thing. I'm all gas, no brakes. You know what I mean? So said Aldis was trying to screw Fatu. But Aldis told Sikoa it was actually you who was screwing Fatu. We then got Randy Orton. This is good. Randy's always good. This is no exception. Orton said that he knew they were already 2 hours into this show, but he's still going to say, welcome to Friday Night Smackdown. Crowd cheered. Orton simply just said, John Cena, and the crowd booed. Orton said while the world couldn't see Cena, he could. Orton said it took about 20 years for everyone to realize what kind of a man John really is, but Orton knew from day one, quote, Cena sucks. And Cena sucks chants ramped through the crowd. Orton called Cena entitled. Is it Cena? Orton called Cena entitled and said, Cena, he is, the ultimate shiny new toy to be played with by the ultimate puppet master. Orton said that Cena took advantage of the PG era. Orton said Cena was willing to be real life, walking, talking, nothing more than a cartoon character. Meanwhile, Orton was true to who he was. Orton said Cena didn't care about the boys in the back or the fans in the crowd. All Cena cared about was the bottom line. Orton said Cena only cares about the new merch Cena would put out and the money he would make from it. All the time. He said the crowd booed in response to that. Orton then brought up the kids and the things that he did and said. He said the only thing Cena has raised is a piece of merchandise, which parents have to work a double shift to afford. Orton said that Cena has been selling his soul for 20 years. Orton asked what happened to the loyalty and the respect when it comes to John. Orton recalled how Cena said that he'd erase the Orton name from the pro wrestling business. Orton fired up and said Cena will not do that over his dead freaking body. Orton said that Cena is the last legend that he will have to put down when it comes to Backlash in his hometown in front of his wife, friends, and family. Orton said that he will punt Cena in the head hard in that, quote, Lego-shaped head. He said, I'll punt him so hard he'll go through the gateway arch. Orton said that he will also drop Cena with the three most deadliest words in all of pro wrestling, the RKO. Well, then he dropped the mic at the end of the segment. Cool. I liked it. I thought it was good. Crowd was a little wonky. Some parts they were responding like they should. Some parts they really didn't know what they should be responding to. So overall, pretty dang good segment. Naomi's in the locker room. Nia walks in. Jack said, hey, we're going to be on the same page. So as long as, whatever you got with Jade, you do with Jade. I want Tiffany. Naomi simply said, sure, and walked away. Orton was shown walking backstage and ran into Truth. Truth said that Orton has no chance at Backlash. Jimmy Uso then stepped in and told Orton not to be mad about Truth's prediction. Jimmy told Truth, hey, if you keep talking like this, Orton will kick the truth right out of your head. Jimmy told Truth that he needed to stop believing in Cena, and Truth walked away. I don't know what this is leading to, but I think it might lead to a segment where John Cena eventually breaks Truth's heart. I really think so. We know John's going to be on the show next week. Is it then? I don't know. But I really think that there's going to be a segment sometime this year with John Cena and R-Truth. And John Cena is either going to beat him up or he's just going to break his heart where R-Truth can no longer believe in his childhood hero, John Cena. So we got Santos Escobar versus Rey Fenix. Phoenix got the crowd behind him before the two began the match. They locked up, and Escobar took Phoenix down briefly, but Phoenix worked his way back up. The two reset the match, and Phoenix chopped Escobar. Escobar returned the favor and traded chest chops back and forth until Phoenix went to the ground. Escobar yelled at Phoenix, and Phoenix pushed Escobar to the canvas. Phoenix set it for a double springboard arm drag, but Escobar cut him off. Escobar ran at Phoenix, but Phoenix moved, and Escobar spilled to the outside. Phoenix followed this up with eventually Phoenix followed Escobar, and Escobar eventually ran at Phoenix on the side of the ring. Escobar returned to the ring and hit a dive through the ropes. We go to a commercial break. The show returned, and Escobar had the upper hand, complete with a splash onto Phoenix from the apron. Phoenix at one point hit a wild springboard top rope moonsault and got a 2 off of it. Phoenix followed this up with a spinning kick and another 2. Both guys at one point were down to reset things at like the 10.5-minute mark. Match went 12.5, I think. Phoenix jumped at Escobar, and Escobar caught Phoenix, and the two fought in the corner until Phoenix came off the top and landed on Escobar's knee. Escobar followed this up with double knees in the corner. Escobar lifted Phoenix, but Phoenix worked his way out of it and ran to the top rope and kicked Escobar in the head. From there, Phoenix hit a top rope Meteora on Escobar and picked up the victory. So Rey Fenix does get the win. These two worked fantastic together. These two were great together. Stratton and Cargill were backstage. They were interviewed by Byron Saxton. Stratton said that Jax will have to learn that Jax can't get this title because it belongs around Tiffy's waist. Cargill said, I'm focusing on Naomi tonight, but I talked to Nick Aldis. And next week, I get to face Nia Jax one-on-one with the winner, challenging you for the WWE Women's Championship. They are doing Nia Jax versus Nia Jax versus Jade Cargill next week on SmackDown. Number one contenders match. You guys know, you may know, you may not know. At one point, back in like November, December time, that was a Mania match for the Women's Championship. At one point, Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax for the WWE Women's Championship was penciled in for WrestleMania 41 this year. So yeah, crazy. We're getting in now next week. We got a video package hyping up TLC and the Street Profits' big win. Escobar was backstage with Berto and Angel. Berto always dressing like a dude from the 80s. Looked like he's straight out of an 80s teen movie. Always. Got the slacks pulled up with the belt, the nice belt. Just the plain T-shirt and the cool jacket over it with the chain. On that slick back hair. He looked like he's straight out of a goddamn 80s movie. Anyways. Andrade walked into picture. And he knows Escobar doesn't care about Los Garza. Andrade said that he doesn't like Escobar. And said Escobar doesn't have respect for the Garzas. Angel then was yelled at by Escobar and pulled away. Berto kind of like stayed for a second, looked at Andrade, was like, oh, I kind of believe you. And then he got yelled at and ran to go be with Escobar. I don't know if this is Andrade stealing the Garzas from Escobar or if it's just going to lead to an Andrade Escobar match, but it's very weird and interesting. So as we move forward, I'm going to ban this person in the chat, or at least give him a timeout. We don't need no fake news in the chat. Put you in a timeout. So we learn for next week, John Cena will be on the show. It's the final show before Backlash. Knight and Priest will take on Solo and Jacob. And then Jade will take on Naomi in a number one contenders match for Tiffy's title. I think the winner gets the title shot at Backlash, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So then we got Tiffany and Jade versus Naomi and Nia. The heels jumpstart the match and all four start brawling. Tiffany split off with Jax as Cargo split off with Naomi. Tiffany ran at Jax and ran her into the steps. Jax then ran at Tiffany into the corner barrier, the crowd barrier, I mean. Inside the ring, Cargill threw Naomi to the outside. Cargill ran Naomi into the ring post and rolled her back into the ring. Naomi kicked Cargill in the midsection, though. Naomi worked Cargill's arm and used the back rake. After a commercial break, the show returned, and Jax was in control as she knocked Tiffany off the apron. Cargill lifted Jax up and hit her with the body slam, though, but collapsed. Tried to hit the body slam. Jax got up and tagged in Naomi, who beat Cargill down. Naomi then tried to tag in Jax, but Cargill stopped her and planted her. Jax eventually tagged in, but Cargill kicked Jax away and tagged Tiffany in. Tiffany then put a knee to Jax's forearm, and Jax landed some sort of like gymnastics thing in the corner. Stratton at one point went to the top, but Jax cut her off and hit her with a Samoan drop. Naomi tagged herself in after Jax hit the leg drop on Stratton. Naomi and Jax argued, and Naomi set her for a split-legged moonsault, but Tiffany got her knees up. Tiffany then tagged in Jade, who worked over Naomi. Jade dragged Naomi into the corner at one point and tagged herself in after Naomi was beat down. Jax then worked over Cargill, but Tiffany broke things up with the Swanton. Naomi then reinserted herself in the match, and Tiffany and Naomi brawled in the corner. Jax squashed Tiffany and Naomi and pushed them both out of the ring. Jackson hit a splash on Cargill in the corner. Jax set up for a finish, but Jade hopped up, hit the powerbomb on Nia, and ultimately pinned her to pick up the victory. I'm mostly right now bored throughout this entire match. This match is 11 and a half minutes. There's nothing special about it whatsoever. I was completely bored throughout this entire match. I can't say it was a bad match because like no one messed anything up and they all seemed to work fine together. But it was a boring match. There's nothing special about it at all. Then we get this post-match thing. Where the ref gets in the match, or in the ring, and he goes to give the title to Tiffany or whatever. He's got the belt. Jade takes it and literally puts it up on her shoulder and admires it for a second, and then was like, "Oh, this is yours." She gives it to Tiffany. So, yeah. Cool. Naomi then jumps in, attacks Jade, who then knocks into Tiffany. Naomi then held the title up, and the babyfaces sold pain. Naomi ends the show posing. So it's like, we got that number one contenders match next week. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I don't think only one's going to win. I think Naomi's going to get involved and Tiffany's going to get involved. Somehow it's all going to lead to a four-way for the women's title. I hope not at Backlash, because we don't need two four-ways at Backlash. But it does really seem like we're getting a four-way where Tiffany's going to have to defend against Nia, Jade, and Naomi. But that was SmackDown, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get the poll going here on Twitch really fast. What do SmackDown liked it right? I didn't like it. As we go and refresh all the other polls. All right. So, Twitter, Threads, community poll. As far as the Threads poll does go, 67% like SmackDown, 17% thought it was just all right, and 17% didn't like it. Looking at the Twitter X poll, 50% liked the show, 30% thought it was just all right, and 20% didn't like it. As far as the YouTube community poll does go, why won't this load? Here we go. 72% liked the show, 19% thought it was just all right, and 10% didn't like it. Looking at the live poll here, 82% liked the show, 14% thought it was just all right, and 5% didn't like it. And as far as the Twitch poll, got one vote, liked the show. Nope, 2 votes. So it's 50% liked it, 50% didn't like it. With that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. We'll be back on Monday for Monday Night Raw. Might try to do some Fortnite streams over the weekend with that new Star Wars season. So with that, guys, have a great night. Tomorrow's free comic book day. Go to your local comic book shop and get some free comic books. There's actually, hold on. It's actually a comic book. I want to say there's one written or co-written by Ethan Page. Let me see if I can find this really fast. Yes. So WWE NXT star Ethan Page co-wrote a comic book that will be released this weekend on Free Comic Book Day. It'll be Mark Spears' Monsters #0. Let me pull this up for you guys to see. Free Comic Book Day. I've taken my kids for I don't know how many years in a row for Free Comic Book Day. But this is the one. Let's see. Comics. It is on the gold tier. Should be in the silver tier. Here it is. This is the one that was co-written by Ethan Page. Mark Spears' Monsters. So if you want to check it out, you can go to your local comic book shop, and if they still have them in stock when you get there, you can get it for free. Literally for free. Like, they've got a bunch of comics for free tomorrow. They've got cool Gargoyles comic. Go get that one. There's a Star Wars one. There's a Hulk comic here. You can go get this one, Hulk Teach. You got a young kid that loves Spider-Man, Spidey and his amazing friends, Iron Man and his awesome friends. They got a free comic for that as well. They got a Dr. Seuss comic. They got Star Wars. They got a number of different Marvel ones. So yeah, you got a comic book shop in your area. Go to freecomicbook.com. See if they are, or freecomicbookday.com. See if they are participating, your local comic book shop, and get some free comics. But with that, guys, have a great night, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.